I guffaw, my soul is humming. It flexes with my desires and responses, my longing and my ailing. It operates in my heart, my deep gut, and my genitals. My soul entangles me in fantasies and surprising emotions. It is the playground of my instincts. Denials cripple it. Denunciations squinch it. It does not want to play safe, to be insured, or think twice. It wants to plunge, to risk all, to live it out. Don't make Adam's mistake. Choose joy, not reason. Those who see any difference between the soul and the body have neither, said Oscar Wilde. The soul expresses itself through the body, in its members, organs, nerves, and cells, in all actions of desire and daring. Whenever you ache, and wherever you soar, every nook and cranny of yourself can flutter and stretch, exude and hum, when experiencing the pleasures and pains of being alive. The body is a holy place of romp and renewal. It is not the shameful sewer that Orthodox religions insist upon. Norbellus said, there is only one temple in the world, and that is the human body. From your tiptoe to your top knot, you are throbbing alive in the dance of the diving mystery. We are each of us a whole universe right here and now. We are each a God body. Deity has no gender barriers. Isn't joyfulness available to all? I do not condone heterophobia any more than I do any other prejudice. I am uncomfortable with the dichotomy of them against us. I believe in the potential redemption of all souls. Look for all that is beautiful in people, despite appearances to the contrary. Look for the radiance behind the mask of every face. Though you may not want to believe it, every human being is as divine as you are. The second reading is Gay and Lesbian Studies 101. And so, one of the members of the search committee asked me, but why do you people, he really said that, you people, have to talk about it, right? Well, because if I fell in love, you know, with sonnets and everything, and wanted to name all the stars of heaven, one at a time with a goofy smile on my face, I'd love to be able to. Because if I didn't fall in love, I'd like to grouse a bit, or work up a bitter theory to explain it. Because if my lover got run over by a drunk driver, it happens, you know, I'd like to be able to take a few days off work to cry and stuff, okay? Because if my partner in life, who I can now legally marry, even though it upsets someone's stomach, or something suddenly developed an infection, or got Job's sores all over her body, and had to go to the hospital, I'd like to take her there and hold her hand for a few days, and still get paid on family emergency leave so I can eat and pay rent and all. Because lying all the time is wrong, isn't it? Oh, and because whether you believe it or not, my life is just as important to me as yours is to you. Many gay, lesbian, bisexual, transgender, and straight will be downtown marching in the Gay Pride Parade this month or next. Unitarian-universalists have supported GLBT rights and pride for a very long time. Today I want to talk about pride as a powerful political and personal tool. I want to explore with you what we have learned from gay pride. Most of us have felt the power of shame in our lives. Shame and violence are the two most powerful tools of social control that exist in human communities. They are used to keep us all in line, to keep us quiet, to better our self-esteem, and defeat our sense of strength. Usually, shame comes first, and usually it is enough to keep us in line. Little boys who are sensitive, tender-hearted, and creative are usually the first to feel the powerful effects of shaming. It may begin subtly, but very quickly boys, all boys, learn that if they cry or laugh too much, or if they prefer nurturing play to competition, or if they are more compassionate than tough, they will feel the power and pain of shame. Girls, of course, feel it too, though there's a little bit more room in our society for the tomboy. Still, if a girl doesn't care about how she looks, or if she wants to rebuild an engine instead of becoming a cheerleader, or she prefers robots or fishing to Disney princesses, she too will quickly learn the power and pain of shame. And let's not forget the kids who don't fit the gender dichotomy at all. They are ones who can't jam themselves neatly into a gender box. They feel the power and pain of shame every day. And sadly, most often their parents are counseled, even urged, to be the first to shame their children into gender conformity. Shame is everywhere if you are gay. Walking down the street every day, I hear kids say to one another, "That's so gay." They don't mean happy. They mean stupid, or unattractive, or embarrassing, or unacceptable. In popular culture, "that's so gay" is the ultimate insult. But shame is not always that blatant. As we get older, we tend to be a little more subtle, so my adult friends don't say, "That's so gay." Instead, they wonder why gay people have to be so obvious, so in your face about being gay. They wonder why we can't just be quiet about it. I mean, Why do we need a parade and t-shirts to talk about our lives and experience all the time? Reverend Mark Bellatani was one of the first openly gay UU ministers. When he graduated from seminary, he had a very hard time finding a congregation that would see him in the amazing minister he was and is, instead of just seeing and fearing him as a gay man. Later, when he had found a place where he could be a minister, he wrote this: "Shame is a powerful way to keep people silent and isolated. When someone like Mark speaks, it interrupts that. When thousands of someone's march under rainbow-colored balloons right down the main street of Cleveland or Columbus, or even Mansfield, it helps break through the layers of shame that try so hard to suffocate the spirit." That's why I know we can all learn something important from gay pride, because shame is not reserved in our culture for people who are gay. Shame is let loose on every one of us anytime we are a little bit queer, anytime we stop hiding the fact that we're different in some way from the norms that surround us. The message of shame is always, you better not let anyone know. Shame cuts a person off from some part of themselves. Shame convinces us that we have to hide and hold back and never let anyone know that we aren't just like all the Joneses and everyone else. And that hiding and holding back, and especially the deep sense of inadequacy that grows from them, damages the human spirit. I'm going to say that again because I think it's very important. Shame damages the human spirit. It attacks people at the deepest part of their being and convinces them that they are not worthy, not important, not good enough, not as acceptable as they are. And that is in direct contradiction to what we, as Unitarian Universalists, hold to be true. Shame does not believe in the inherent worth and dignity of every person. In fact, shame destroys that dignity. That's why we all have something to learn from gay pride. That's why we should listen closely to anyone who has found the strength to stand up and claim their dignity in the face of shame. Because what pride is about, gay pride or any other kind of healthy pride, is integrity. Integrity that puts all the pieces of life back together again and says, all that I am is okay. Dr. Keith Crown preaches a sermon that begins by describing the double life he had to lead as a gay public school teacher. Then, toward the end of the sermon, he blesses the listeners by wishing them one life, a single integrated life of integrity. When someone like James Broughton breaks through shame to write the words we heard in our reading, we should listen. Because when he moved from shame to pride, he didn't just stop there. He didn't just say, I'm proud, now get out of my way. He came to understand one of the great spiritual lessons. He realized that every person is divine, every person is a whole universe right here and now. Every person matters and is holy. He learned that lesson of integrity and compassion, lessons interwoven and revealed in the journey from shame to pride. Reverend William Singford, past president of our association, says this: "We know from our own experience that many blessings that gay and lesbian people bring to our communities and congregations. We know from our lived experience in religious community that the differences of faith, of race, and of sexual orientation need not divide us. That diversity within the human family can be a blessing and not a curse. Unitarian Universalists affirm that in the presence of love and commitment that we value, for Unitarian Universalists, it is homophobia that is the sin, not homosexuality. It is the presence of love that we value, and the presence of pride that allows people to love themselves and love others with integrity and honesty. This is what we have in common with every single person who is marching downtown this month or next, marching for integrity, for love, and for pride. May we join them in the spirit of the struggle to make a place for more love in our communities." I'd like to break here for special music, and then I'll go back to the rest of the sermon. This song means a great deal to me, and I'm sure many other GBLT people, as we have Pride this month.
I am what I am. I am my own special creation. Some come take a look. Give me the hook or the ovation. It's my world that I want to have a little pride in. My world, and it's not a place I have to hide in. I've life's not worth a damn till you can say, hey world, I am what I am. I am what I am. I don't want praise, I don't want pity. I bang my own drum, some think it's noise, I think it's pretty. And so what if I love each feather and each spangle? Why not try to see things from a different angle? Your life is a sham till you can shout out loud, I am what I am. I am what I am, and what I am needs no excuses. I deal my own death. Sometimes the ace, sometimes the deuces. There's one life, and there's no return and no deposit. One life, so it's time to open up your closet. Life's not worth a damn till you can say, hey world, I am what I
I've always told Kristen when I die, I want that played
Is
at
that
my
gay or
funeral.
what? Is that gay or what?
I want that played. That's awesome. Okay, now I want to talk about the issue. You know, the bathroom issue. I joyfully, abundantly, thoroughly queer and transgender. And so I have to talk to you about what's raging around in my heart. This means, of course, that I can't, with any integrity, offer reflections on the bathroom issue as a social issue, no matter how much political and historical homework I have done. If I used that kind of intellectual analysis this morning, I would be hiding. If I placed the authority for my reflections outside of my own experience, it would feel like an act of cowardice. Somehow that keeps me hidden from you. And so it is for my personal experience that I want to speak with you. As I begin, I must say that it's very strange to be an issue, to have an essential part of my identity debated as a public policy question. Listening to late night pundits, the morality of my lifestyle is both absurd and offensive. The truth is, I'm not even sure what a lifestyle is, but I'm pretty sure I don't have one. I should have preached about this issue months ago, but I was afraid that some people would think I plan to lift up one aspect of my identity while all others in a way that would make me seem unbalanced. I was afraid that I might be pigeonholed as a transgender minister, which might make it hard to serve my congregation, as I so dearly desire to do. I was afraid that you might think I am concerned about the bathroom issue because it affects me directly, my wife, family, friends, and my community. But I am, of course, I am deeply concerned, and I want to tell you why. I am required to pay lots of taxes, and I do so willingly. And as the Reverend Aaron Splatus observes, I support public education, and I believe I should do my part to take care of the roads and help other citizens who need help. I serve on juries when I'm called upon, and I go to the voting booth when it's open. And as Aaron writes, I do all that with pride and a sense of honor as a citizen of the United States. And yet, it is wrong to confer all the responsibilities on citizenship on me at the same time denying me all of my rights. The right to use the bathroom of the gender I identify as. Personally, I know how dangerous and scary it can be to walk into a bathroom not for the gender you are assigned at birth. Many transgender people do not go in the bathroom all day, while out in public or at work, which lead to severe bladder and kidney infections. But for many, this is a better alternative than taking the chance of being arrested, beat up, or even raped. Imagine that fear every time you needed to use the bathroom. This is a poster that will be distributed throughout General Assembly this year. And it'll be up after I'll tell you what it says. It states, sometimes, because of how people look, they aren't allowed to pee. Here at General Assembly, we can do better. This bathroom is for everyone. There are real impacts when bathrooms are labeled for women or men only. One of the places where oppression happens is in the bathroom. For transgender and/or gender nonconforming people, the use of public restrooms can come with emotional and physical harassment, a deep discomfort, risk of arrest for being in the wrong bathroom, or even physical violence and death. As a step toward being a welcoming assembly, restrooms near the plenary and exhibit halls are designated for use by all genders. Gender-specific men and women's restrooms are available in other sections of the convention. Please trust that each individual knows which restroom is most comfortable and is appropriate for them. You are encouraged to thoughtfully examine and challenge your assumptions around gender identity and gender expression. We invite compassionate and ongoing dialogue around these issues, and as part of our work toward a right relationship, it is important to remember that personal processing should not be done with transgender and/or gender nonconforming people. We encourage you to contact the GA chaplain if you need support in this work. And I say, thank you for putting that up. It'll make life so much easier for me and other gender nonconforming people while we're there. How brave of UUA to do that. I'm sure it wasn't like that at the Methodist conference a couple weeks ago. And this is just one of the reasons I have never been prouder to be a UU. I am so proud of our religious movement and the national leadership we have shown in our prophetic call for gay, lesbian, bisexual, and transgender rights. As early as 1984, our General Assembly passed a resolution affirming the practice of UU clergy performing services of union. In 1996, the UUA Board of Trustees passed a unanimous resolution calling for civil marriage. In the months before the Supreme Judicial Court decision, our ministers in Massachusetts placed a full-page ad in the Boston Globe declaring their support for same-sex marriage. Many of you know that the headquarters of the Unitarian-Universalist Association is at 25 Beacon Street in Boston, immediately next to the State House on Beacon Hill. All last year, a huge banner hung outside the window of UUA headquarters declaring civil marriage is a civil right. Right there, right next to the doors that legislators use every day, our movement took a clear stand. 4 of the 7 couples involved in the lawsuit that established the constitutional right to gay marriage in Massachusetts are Unitarian Universalists. And now the UU is taking a stand, providing safe bathrooms for our transgender members and families. There are also resources on the UUA website offering information to churches on how to provide gender-neutral bathrooms. I won't read all this to you, but this is available for anybody of any church to read and learn how to make the bathrooms safer and more gender inclusive. And there is something each of you can do as well. I have I'll Go With You buttons. Buttons. The I Go With You organizers have created I'll Go With You buttons that you can wear on a jacket or a backpack to indicate publicly that you are willing to be tapped as a bathroom buddy or other type of ally. Sometimes you just needed someone to pretend to know you long enough to get some random jerk to back off. There's a small strip of paper attached to each button which explains how to be a bathroom ally, as well as taking steps to make sure you keep yourself safe as well. Very important that you keep yourself safe as well. The buttons will be in the fireside room. If you would like to take one, please do so. Lastly, I would like to express my heartfelt thanks and love to all of you in this congregation for your support of Infant Rainbow, the LGBT community, and especially your support of me. Peace be to you all. May we please stand and sing our last hymn, 123.
This doesn't have any intro. Just ready to go.
Just belt it out.
Belt it out.
Spirit of the living God.
This isn't the right song.
We'll do this one on. Oh, that's fine.
What?
You have it?
Yeah.
You have it, honey?
Spirit of life? Yeah, I got it. Just a second. I swear, it'll only be. Sorry. It's not a problem. I just saw spirit and clicked on it.
overcomes all differences, that heals all wounds, that puts to flight all fears, that reconciles all who are separated, be in us and among us now and always. Amen. Please be seated. Announcements. We have potluck today, then we have the LGBT meeting. Also, next Sunday, Kristen and I will be here. We're going to take a vacation day before I go off to conference from Wednesday till Saturday. After next Sunday, from Wednesday to Saturday, I'll be gone at the general conference. I even have an app on my phone that tells me what every single meeting is and what each one is, so I can pick out the ones I want. That's a lot. So I'm excited about that, but we're going to take a day or two together.
Excellent.
Any other? Michael will be here too. Any other announcements?
Next week is the summer Sabbath, summer solstice celebration, so that'll be cool. There's a card downstairs for Kathy Kendall. Bernie passed away, so if we could sign that, so we can, since it's a sympathy card. And then, you're on.
I'm on. Because we had originally envisioned having the bylaws thing next week, so obviously without Kristen being here, we need her to help discuss these. And with wanting to get ready for the psychic fair. So we figured maybe next week we can spend some time after church cleaning up, getting the church arranged.
Clean.
Yeah, because we got to get it all.
And it shouldn't fall on any one person to do. I think that it's, we really need to kind of.
So instead of a bylaws meeting, a grubby Sunday, would that work for everyone?
Grubby Sunday works for me.
We haven't done one of those in a while, so.
And Infinite Rainbow today is going to talk about the topic of suicide. So I know that sounds a little blunt, but this is an important problem to think about in the LGBTQ community. And what we're sort of focusing on is for the people who come here to try and create the community support system that will help them succeed, in addition to other supports that they'll need in their lives. So that's sort of the focus that we're doing today. We're going to watch a short film called Trevor, which deals with difficult issues with some amount of humor, and it's a good thing to see.
We are, after the meal, or as we're finishing up the meal, we're going to real quick talk about the psychic fair and make sure that we've got everything handled and everybody knows what their position is going to be, and if there's anything else that we need, and just make sure that we're organized.
So are you gonna be here next week?
Yes.
Okay, so then we'll do the
Yeah.
actual setup next week. I
Yes.
know the tables have to be
Yeah, I'm
moved
gonna
and all
come
that.
and help set up and
Okay, fantastic.
do all that kind of stuff. Do some hard labor.
We're ready.
Excellent.
Yay.
Time for food?
Time for food.
Thank you.
Yes. And Sergio, we would have been nowhere without him.
Mexicans are handy sometimes.
Crash. All right.
Button?
You know what?
Yeah. Button? Okay.
Cool.
Cool. Oh, yeah. It's the colors of the trans flag is pink and blue like that.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
All right.
Oh.
Yeah.
It just, I mean, it makes perfect sense to me, but I just